the timer.
A little bit of Hogwarts.
You're gonna play a little bit of Hogwarts?
Yeah. After the food is out, I'm gonna take a shower, but I'm gonna wait.
Oh.
Until it's out.
Are we? Are we now? I should probably open up another tab with YouTube. I should probably do that so that way I can actually see it. I haven't gone live in so long on YouTube. I always feel bad. I always say I'm gonna do it, and then I always get caught up with things, and I always fall behind on things. Are we? You know how it be, Mel. Maybe you do. I don't know. Jeffrey, hello. Are we in here quick? Hello, Mr. Jeffrey. How are we doing? Mel, go. Away says go take a shower now, Mel.
Why? I'm gonna do it after I eat.
I don't know. We're doing fun stuff in Haltech tonight, though. Is Matt the one you hired? Yeah, he's been in the videos. Matt's with us. Matt is here. Matt is here. He's chosen ones. Yeah, I got caught up on things. She was making dinner, man. Waste. I feel like you're being extremely judgmental right now, and I think that's a little bit rude. I think it's a little unnecessary, but I'll let it slide this time. I would like to close. There we go. There we go. That is a much better setup. Hey, boss, I'm from Canada. Do you think you have any reputable tuner you can recommend? Not in Canada. I don't really know anyone up in Canada for tuning. When is the next merch drop? Also, you think you get more familiar with tuning? We'll make a video explaining the basics. Absolutely. We can go over some of the basics tonight going through the Haltech software if you guys want. Bro is live and Matt is back. All is well. I know, right? I'm trying to get back in the swing of things now that Matt is here. It takes a lot off my plate, so I've been playing catch up on a lot. Insert CJ. Oh, here we go again. Non-EG33H6 content, please. Absolutely not, Ben. Absolutely not, dude. Thoughts on the new STI? Asking for a friend, dude. I just did a podcast about this thing today. It's not a new STI. It's a concept of what could be a new STI, and I don't even think it should be called an STI at this point. I think it should be called something else. I actually meant you're caught up on things because you haven't been live streaming. I know. See, here we are. We're doing the thing. We're doing the stuff. How's the BMW treating you? Awesome, man. I freaking love that thing. It has been phenomenal. It has been. You just get in it. You can drive it. You don't have to worry about it. It's really not bad. But yeah, we've been doing all the stuff and all the things, man. I'm trying to get back in the swing of like a normal schedule again for everything that we're doing. So I wanted to jump in. I was working on the RS's base map. I'd like to work on the RS's base map a little bit because I haven't really touched any of it too much. I got the thing running and then started cutting off the body. So, you know, we're playing catch up. So if you guys want some of the basics of like tuning stuff like this, I can definitely walk you guys through it a little bit tonight. Tried to buy parts today at Flatirons and had to wait while you did your interview. It wasn't an interview. It was you actually went over there. It wasn't an interview, man. It was a podcast. It was me, Art, Dewey, and John. So I don't know when Flatirons is dropping that, but we'll see. Seen you mention Rumble Garage. I've been following him for a while. He's a hella cool dude. Yeah, he's been he gave me a couple tips with doing the steel wide body that we're doing right now on the RS. So. It's been going. I had to wait for the inner fender liners to get dropped off, which got dropped off last night. So tomorrow I can actually go cut up the body more, start making a new inner fender liner going for it. That was the only time I had to pick up parts. Busy schedule. What were you picking up, dude? How's it going, man? It's going. We're staying busy. I've been practicing the tuning stuff and whatnot. Been building client cars, been working on the RS's wide body, all the fun stuff, man. But we're staying busy, so that's not bad. But figured why not? We do a little bit of RS base map shenanigans as I put this thing together a little bit more, just to kind of clean this up. You guys have seen it. It starts. It kind of drives right now, but it's not the happiest. We do have an issue with with the cam sensors, but that's kind of typical of Haltech. So. We're gonna have to kind of sort that out the best we can right now. Hi, Levi Kane's friend. I'm friend with Levi Kane. Read my comment, please. I read your comment. I know, Levi. Cam sensor sync issue. It is a cam sensor sync issue. It's not even a cam sensor sync issue. It's like I just re-updated the firmware on the RS. I'm hoping that helps it a decent bit. But I'm pretty certain it's a firmware thing. I have an idea of how to fix it if this stuff doesn't fix it, but we'll see. Yeah, smart man, crazy collection of part right. Dude, he's got everything in there. What would you recommend me to focus to learn tuning as a programming student? Honestly, open source. It's going to be the most cost effective, the easiest to get into, the most ready for anyone. You could literally just download it and go to town. All you need is a Tatrix cable. The only thing that's kind of annoying with the Tatrix cable is there's no live tuning, so you have to get a data log, look at the data log, then go back and make your changes to the map. So it can be a little bit annoying. Is it a bad sensor? It's not a bad sensor because all the sensors are brand new. And as the car is running, if I can come in here, if I go into electrical, actually I think it might be under sensors. It's not under, where is it under? Vehicle functions, nope. Electrical, nope. Engine functions. If I come into engine functions and I go to cam control, and I go to like wiring and whatnot in here, in this tab as the car is running, if you guys look at where it says cam output 1 and cam intake cam 2 input, like these inputs and outputs, I can actually see the camshaft reading signal from the cam and the cam sensor as it's operating. It just drops all signal abruptly for some reason. I'm eager to rewatch this later. It's date night tonight, so have fun. Have fun on the date, Chaos Crusaders. Matt, I feel that. I'm eating at a Mexican restaurant right now. Can't hear anything. Yeah, you're at that taqueria. You're getting some tequila, aren't you, man? I'm going to see you tomorrow at the shop and you're going to be hungover. I'm joking. I doubt it. You probably won't be. Which car are you tuning in this? This is for the 2.5 RS right now. So this is the map that... So with Haltech or with standalones like this, as you guys can see over here, you'll see like SPI 1, Ignition 5, SPI 4, Ignition 6. These are all wires. So when I built the engine harness for the RS, I had to keep track of what all of these wires were, where they went, and what they did. And then I have to take all that information and I have to go into Haltech software. And then if I were to hit like assign right here, I would have to assign what this wire does. So I could go down, I can see like, for example, SPI 3 is vehicle speed input for the drivetrain sensor. Or like we have one open home input right now. I don't think this is being used. Actually, no, that's not available. That is available. So this one is an available wire. So if I wanted to change that input, I could change it to this wire right here. So you have to go through and you have to enable all this. Like we have our rolling anti-lag enable switch, vehicle speed, flex fuel composition. All of this is in the Haltech software. And this isn't like a downloadable thing. You have to go through the software and tell it all of this information so that way the ECU knows what wire does what. So, you know, there's a lot to it, but it's not as bad as you might think. Hopping off, have fun, everyone. Have fun, Mr. Matthias. Using ROS and PRP trigger kits. ROS, PRP trigger kit? I haven't seen that one. I was going to end up swapping my home trigger to the Nemesis Performance one. Does PRP make a trigger kit for the EJ? Normally it's going to be like a Hall effect sensor and a different trigger wheel, which is what I'll probably be doing on the RS if what we do doesn't get it corrected. Because if we continue to have issues with the factory trigger, which honestly Haltech and Subarus, they typically tend to always have issues with it. I know Nemesis Performance makes it. I've actually used it on the EG33 with Haltech, and that's what fixed all of my issues. Because if you guys remember on the EG33, I went through this phase of having all of these issues where it would drop home signal all the time. We swapped the trigger wheel to this aftermarket one, used a Hall effect sensor versus a reluctor. And if you don't know what the difference is between a reluctor and a Hall effect sensor, a reluctor is going to be a 2-wire. It's going to be a positive and a negative going to the sensor. A Hall effect is going to have a 12 volt, a ground, and then your signal ground going to the sensor as well. So you get a lot cleaner of a waveform as the trigger wheel passes that sensor every single time, and you can alter the tooth count. So if we come up here to like engine configuration, I go to trigger system. Right now it's 36222. Obviously one group of 2 missing teeth, opposite 2 groups of 2 missing teeth separated by 1 tooth. It's kind of a weird setup. You also have your home, which is 3 blanks 90 degrees apart. So you have all these weird trigger angles. You're also obviously going to have to take a timing light. So what I don't think a lot of people realize when you go to do a lot of the standalone stuff, unless you've done it in the past, you have to find your TDC offset angle, which is going to be this number right here where it says TDC offset, where we have 400 degrees. It's going to be typical of an EJ. On like my EG33, that trigger offset, I want to say was like 687 degrees or something like that. And that is just where top dead center is on cylinder 1 as it's rotating around. So there's a lot of like intricate little things you have to set up in a Haltech or a standalone in general when you go to do one of these. But you know, there's a lot. OE ECU over Haltech. You would say that, Mark. All the Haltech cars that had their firmware updated have started having desyncing issues at the shop. My car gets worked on. I haven't done the firmware update, and I haven't had issues. Skyline GTRs. So when I went to the shop tonight and I pulled my map off the ECU, I saw that there was another update to the ECU. I didn't read what the updates were, but I'll probably go back through and read those firmwares. I can also backdate that ECU's firmware if I need to try to correct it. So, I mean, we'll see. My valve covers are pissing on my EJ. I just did them like 6 months ago. Cam seals are leaking also. Same turbo return line. To be honest, my car just doesn't like oil. Hey, if it's leaking oil, it's got oil though. So, you know, that's not always a bad thing. But I did want to come in here and kind of change my base fueling a little bit. I kind of want to make a little bit of an adjustment here. It's got cams and everything else, so it's probably... I'm just taking some guesses. I'm just taking some blind shots in the dark here. I think on here... Can I hotkey this? I can. So what I'm doing right now, I'll show you guys this. So if you guys look at the column that I'm in right now, where I have 65 inputted here going across... and then I have 70 up here. If I want, I can come down here. I can hit V on my keyboard, and what that's going to do is it's going to interpolate from that 4,500 RPM down to that 2,000 RPM. So it's going to do all these values in between there and kind of take an average and smooth it out like that. So when it comes to tuning and you're making some rough adjustments, this is not a bad place to start. To be honest, I'm probably going to change that a little bit more, and I'll probably bring 65 to here. And then off of this 70 up here, I'll probably interpolate it down. So we'll hit V to do a vertical interpolation. And then right about here, we'll do 70. And then we'll do a horizontal interpolation going this way. And what that does is it just kind of smooths out the fueling curve here. So what volumetric efficiency is if you guys don't know, this is the essentially how much air is in the cylinder of the engine. So if I'm telling the ECU that there's 65% of the cylinders being filled up with oxygen, it's going to inject the correct amount of fuel to achieve our target lambda, which is going to be in this table. So when we're at idle, low load, we kind of want it to be stoichiometric, right around that 14.7. And then obviously as we go up in RPM and up in load, more boost, everything like that, it's going to want to be richer. So that's what this table is here. So the base table is just kind of our volumetric efficiency table. You need company 23 seal installers. Those are good seal installers. You're going to do a video on tuning the 06 Cobb stuff on dyno. Yes, so we're actually going back to the dyno on Monday with the 06. We're going to do boost tuning, and we're also going to be doing E85 tuning on the 06. If you guys haven't seen, yes, the 06 STI is up for sale right now, but I'm going to continue tuning on that car up until it does sell. To be honest, since we got the 15 STI, I just never drive the 06. It just kind of sits, and it just sits, unfortunately. Apologies for getting off topic. Hey Tanner, love your stuff. Quick question. I'm looking at getting my first WRX, and I found a few Hawkeyes and a handful of GRs, both hatch and sedan. I love the Hawkeye, but I'm worried about parts. What are you worried about on parts for, man? Most of the stuff that you're going to be looking for like 04 to 07s, you can still get most of it new, and if you can't get it new, you'll be able to find it secondhand. There's a lot out there, so I mean you should be okay. Been my daily for 4 years, so also, what are your thoughts on fixing turbo return lines on the JDM EJ20 since they're not straight up and down like the USDM motor was? Thinking to change it to an AN line. You can definitely do that. I mean, it's probably going to be the same fitting in the back of the cylinder head that IAG makes. So if you want to, you can buy that little IAG press-in piece that that'll convert it to 6 AN or 10 AN. 8 AN? 10 AN. I want to say it's 10 AN. Might be 8 AN. But you can do that. You can definitely do that. After all the work you put in the 06 LMAO. Dude, it just sits. Like, I don't drive it ever. I drive the 15 whenever I'm going anywhere. It's comfier. It's more usable. It's got more space. It's it's a little, honestly, even from a business standpoint of learning to tune, it makes more sense to keep the 15 because there's obviously more 08 to 21s than there are 04 to 07. So, chat, am I muted? I can't hear you, so I don't think so. How can you tune via Cobb Access Port after the green speed stuff and not getting a cell? If you bought Access Tuner Race years ago, you can use that. I've got a couple versions of Access Tuner Race that I purchased a long time ago. You can use that. That's one way. Or if you can get a Tatrix cable, you can use that and use open source tuning. Both of them will be fine. Hey, I recently bought a 205 short block and turned out to be the same one that had the wrong spark plugs in it from one of your videos. Should I be concerned? Oh no. No, the short block itself, the bottom end was actually just fine. When I took that engine apart, the physical bottom end looked great. It had, if I remember correctly, that car had a cracked cylinder head, and some other weird issues for it. But as far as I remember, I don't remember anything wrong with the bottom end of that 205 when we took it apart. If anything was wrong with it, I mean, if anything did happen, the piston would have hit the spark plug, and you'd see a little bit of scoring on the piston. I want to say it was either cylinder 1 or cylinder 3 that the majority of the damage happened on, but I think for the most part, as far as I can remember, that bottom end was okay. VB or VA WRX? No STI though. I would do a VB over a VA personally. Like styling is subjective, but performance-wise, the VB is going to be better. That's good to hear. Slightly spooked after you mentioned in a recent video that Subaru is discontinuing parts for the GD chassis. I mean, they are actively discontinuing parts for the GD chassis. Right now, it's only small things, though, and it's all going to be body stuff. For the most part, an EJ is an EJ, a STI 6-speed is an STI 6-speed. You're going to be able to get parts for most of them, though. 160K on the Hawkeye, though. Skydog, just buy my Hawkeye, man. Buy my 06. You want to buy one. That one's clean. I mean, it's not the cleanest one out there, but it's mechanically sound. Yep, that's what I was thinking about doing. Such a pain because it just leaks, and it leaks. I don't want to blow my Cobb 20G as well. I don't blame you. LOL, good luck getting a Tatrix cable. The company seems to be bottom up. I've seen a lot about Atlas. I personally have no experience with the Atlas stuff, but that is actually something that I'd like to play with personally. Because, I mean, I do a lot of... I've played with the Access Port software. I've obviously played with this Haltech software. Haltech software is on a whole different level. Like any standalone software, for the most part, is going to be on a different level from like a standard ECU reflash. With like the Haltech stuff or standalone stuff, there's a lot more in it. Like if we came in, like there's so much more in a standalone. But that's not a bad thing because it gives you a lot more control over the car versus like an ECU reflash on a stock ECU. Would love to have a media car. If you're actually interested in buying it, you can shoot me an email. And any questions, I can hit you up on there. You had anything about FIC GR injectors, any updates? I unfortunately have not actually heard of any active updates come from FIC about those injectors. I'm still talking to a couple of the GR Corolla guys out there. Personally, I haven't seen anything about it. I have a brand new Tatrix cable. Who wants it? Nolan, I'll buy that off you. I'll take that Tatrix cable if you want to sell it. My 04 has been on jacks a while, waiting to have extra money to take the drive calipers to the machine shop to have them fit my thread since I don't trust myself. It's not that hard. If you really wanted to, you could do a time cert. Time certs are pretty easy to use. Hey, got a 2010 STI with an Outright Motorsports EJ25. It burns oil under boost. I've been told the cylinder has some damage. What kind of price am I looking at to get it fixed? It really depends. Like, I couldn't tell you without knowing what the damage is or what the extent of the ring. Could be a cracked sleeve. A cracked sleeve would probably be more indicative that you might be seeing your cooling system pressurized, though. So, I mean, could be a cracked ring. That's what I would assume with oil consumption, or it could be a valve stem seal also. If you have oil going from the head past the valve stem seal into the combustion chamber and it's burning oil, might not even be the bottom end. If I were you, I would start with a compression test and a leak down test and kind of go from there, because that's really going to tell you if it is it'll tell you exactly what the problem is, to be completely honest. If it's compression test comes low, if compression comes low on one of the cylinders, leak down it. The leak down will tell you exactly where the issue is. If you hear air, if you take off the oil cap and you hear air escaping out of the crankcase, then it's going to be a piston ring. If you hear air coming out of the intake manifold, it's going to be an intake valve. If you hear air coming out of the exhaust manifold, it's going to be an exhaust valve, so on and so forth. But that's where I would start. Why a VB though? The FA24 is undoubtedly a more capable engine than the FA20. Like that's really what it just comes down to. I bought my access cable off AliExpress. Works great. Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, if it works, it works, man. Tanner's the man. Appreciate you, brother. Anytime, dude. I was told the wall is scared. Scored or scared? What's it scared of? High boost. Pulling HTE headers and just looking is an easy way to see valve stems. I mean, you can't see the valve stem seals. You're not going to be able to see them. I mean, if you have the head off, you're going to be able to inspect them and whatnot. Why is this one cell 45? Go to 65. Why are you not 65? Oh, look at that. Everything changed. I'll put my VE up here at like 150. Oh, let's not do that. Control Z. How do I get my graph? I want to see my graph. Dude, what is going on up here? Something's happening up there. Is there like a view tab? Logging tools. Oscilloscope. That's also a really nice feature with Haltex. Edit. I don't know. I'm not worried about it right now. It's weird setting up the Haltex stuff. Boop. Can I see like fuel tuning? Base map. Thank you for that. I wanted to see my graph, but whatever. Scored. My bad. I mean, you can stick a borescope through where the spark plug is to see if the walls are actually scored or not. You need to make an X amount of horsepower for the VB. You're the only one I trust. You see, I can make an X amount of horsepower for the VB, but once it goes above 400 or 450 to make it reliably, you're looking at so much money, man. It's just so much. I did pull the oil cap off while running, and it's getting a lot of blow-by air coming out of the fill tube. So piston ring? No. So that's not abnormal. If you take off your oil cap, you will see some air coming out. However, if you start seeing exhaust come out of your oil cap, that's a problem. That's going to be an issue. That's going to be a piston ring. FA24 and TY85 soon. STI 6-speed. My engine was also afraid of boost. It spun a rod bearing. You know, it happens, dude. It happens to the best of us. And they're still leaking because I don't own a hoist. Bro, go to Harbor Freight and get a hoist for like $200. Like, maybe-ish $200. This VE table is very inefficient up here. Only 80 to 90%. Our RS is going to be up there, man. I'm so excited to tune the RS. You guys have no idea. Tuning has been like a whole nother world, dude. I'm going to go like 80 up here just to smooth this out. And then just go like vertical interpolation. It really doesn't matter. I'll never be at this much vacuum in 10,000 RPM, but... building a 5.0 Mustang in the shop right now. Fully built Gen 3 Texas Speed short block and has... Helion twin turbo kit. This thing's gonna rip. Hopefully makes about 12. That'll be nuts, dude. I've actually seen those twin turbo kits. They actually look really good. I don't know how much they are, but they're pretty sweet kits. Yeah, well, doing stems, it means doing heads, which means machining and money. That's not necessarily true, good sir. If you are doing a head gasket job and you're just getting your heads decked, you can use the Company 23 valve spring compressor tool and change your own valve springs. You don't have to pay the machine shop to do valve springs. It's not something that requires a machine shop to do. You can lap your valves also while you're doing your valve springs, or while you're doing your valve stem seals, which also will help the valve seat and the valve seal a little bit better. So you don't have to have a machine shop do that. Would love to see Subaru bring a DCT to the platform. Dude, same. If Subaru just axed just get rid of the CVT, bring in a DCT, and dude, it would be awesome. It would actually be awesome if they did that. Personally, love it. My VE table is around 120 at watt. Is that efficient? I mean, that's pretty efficient. How many PSI? I mean, that's still an efficient graph. It's not bad. I'm just going to smooth all this out right now. We're just going to do this. This is very arbitrary for what I'm doing right now. Keep in mind, this is me just smoothing out this graph to make it look a little bit better. This is completely arbitrary. I cannot accurately tune this car without having some type of... Why is it still 70? These are all just base 70 still. I cannot accurately tune the RS, obviously, without data logs or without tunes or without any information. So this is just very arbitrary for what I'm doing right now. What did I need to deck the head? It's been 8 years. I mean, yeah, but decking a head, depending on your machine shop, doesn't have to be too crazy. What RPM are you spinning the RS to? Honestly, I'll probably keep the RS around 7,500 RPM. To be completely honest. The RS, when we go to tune the RS, I want people to understand that the RS is not going to be a car that makes 1,000 horsepower, makes 15, like all this crazy number. The RS is going to live at about 600 to 650 wheel horsepower, and it on E85, and it will live at that horsepower for years, absolute years. Subarus love that 600 to 650 range, and they last so freaking long when built right, especially with us having a dry sump on ours. Everything else that we've got done to it, all the safeties from the Haltech that's going to be built into it, it will last us so long. We will quite literally be able to abuse the absolute hell out of this engine without really having any issues. Thoughts on 20X swaps? Absolute trash. I hate EJ20X and EJ20Ys. They're good if you're like on a budget, it's your only car and you just need to get it running. But if you're like actually going to be building the car, 20X and 20Y swaps are terrible. Gotta make a Facebook again. Wah. Can a Tatrix cable be used to tune an FA20? I believe... No, actually, I don't know on that one. I don't know if you can tune direct injection on open source. I don't think open source actually permits that. Depends on if there's ECU definitions for that. I don't... It does... I mean, that's what it does depend on if there is ECU definitions for it. But I don't think that open source allows for direct injection tuning. It could. I'm just unfamiliar with it. What about JDM EJ205s, though? I mean, that's not a bad engine. Tossing it, I mean, it's not terrible. I'm rebuilding it with an RA block, stock D25 heads, but want to know if upgrading the oil pump to... Honestly, I like a lot of the stuff that IAG makes. For oil pumps, out front, ported and shimmed 11mm. If you're just doing like an OEM plus rebuild, you don't need a blueprinted, shimmed, ported oil pump or anything else like that. An 11mm factory oil pump will do you just fine. You do not need to spend the extra money on all these crazy oil pumps for even like a sub 400 horsepower car. Like a factory 11 mil is going to do you just fine. 6 cars you have. Which 3 would you get rid of? If I had to get rid of 3 cars, 06 STI, 15 STI, I really like the BMW, man. I'd keep the BMW. We have 6. We have 6, not including the GTI, because Melanie would kill me if we got rid of the GTI. So it'd be, I don't know, man. 15 STI, 06 STI. I don't want to get rid of the Tacoma. I like the Tacoma. 2. I don't want to get rid of 2. I'm only getting. I don't want to get rid of 3. I'd pick 2. 15 and the 06 would be the first 2 to go. Open source won't work on 2015 plus WXs only if they're STIs. I figured as much. Out front short block for an OEM plus rebuild 04 WRX or STI. I mean out front, yeah. I mean you can't go wrong with out front. Can't go wrong. Best coil pack brand Subaru OEM. What's the base mods for making reliable power on an FA24? The usual goods. I mean, for the most part, you're not really going to run into... You're not going to make enough power on an FA24 to start running into issues unless you start dumping a lot of money into it. Intake, J-pipe, intercooler, or charge pipe and top mount. AOS, radiator, and you're pretty much good to go. Run some E85 in it if you want. E30 mix and you're solid. If you want, you can do a high pressure fuel pump, direct injectors, all that other stuff. If you want to push it a little bit farther, but I mean, you're not really going to run into too many issues with the FA24 until you really start pushing things. I honestly think a lot of people overbuild Subarus because of all the false info we have in the car culture. I mean, I've harped on this before. People have this ideology that if they want to make 500 horsepower in a Subaru, they need a block that's rated for 950, and that's just not the case. What I tell people all the time is build your engine to the power that you want. Like, realistically, just build it to the power that you want. You can overbuild it if you want. It's not going to change anything. If something goes wrong or something goes awry, it's going to happen. If you knock too hard and a piston ring cracks, it doesn't matter if your block's rated for 950 horsepower or 650, the piston ring's still going to crack. Like, at the end of the day, you can overbuild to an extent, but I tell people just build to your goal. Build to your goal. You're going to get the ESTI. I actually really like that ESTI concept. If it comes out at an affordable price, I would probably get one. I would personally, and some of you guys are going to think I'm crazy, I personally like the E STI concept more than that B STI concept. Personal preference on that. One last Hawkeye question. LOL. 159,680 kilometers. Miles. Oh, I read that as kilometers. 160,000 miles for $10,000. Bone stock, one owner, all within one stage of where I live on the East Coast. Would you likely get it for less with a trade-in? Any thoughts? I mean, $10K for running and driving clean title Hawkeye with minimum rust really isn't too bad, to be honest. Seems like a good base to build from, which is kind of what I want. I'd say send it, dude. I mean, what's worst case scenario? It has an issue and you go in there and you fix it. I mean, it's old. It's a 20-year-old Subaru at this point. It's probably going to have some issues. They all do. The EJ25 short block from out front says it's rated to 575 brake horsepower. Am I good for reliable 400 on pump? Yeah, you should be fine with that. You should be solid, dude. Built motors wear faster. I've seen more junkyard EJ20s last than built motors somehow. I mean, it really depends on what's done to it, how's it tuned, how's it driven, what's the climate it lives in, what type of abuse does it seize. Like, I saw Karma yesterday, our old 05 STI. That thing's going on like 35,000 miles on that built motor. It's still going strong. So it's like, I've seen stock engines last 5,000 miles. There's so many factors that play into how long an engine will actually last. E85, pump gas, what type of oil are you using, what's your oil pressure, all this other crazy stuff. The tune is what really matters. I was really surprised how much the 04 STI stock tune could be improved, and I'm not even a pro. Dude, any stock tune can be an improvement. Like, there's always improvements to making stock tunes. I want a GB as a daily, LOL. I'm kind of getting tired of dailying the blob. I mean, it's fun, but I'd like a newer daily. Or VB. I don't blame you. I mean, that's why, like, That's why I have the 06 for sale right now. I never drive the... Oh, what's up, Corey? I just saw your message up there, man. That's why I never drive the 06 STI because I've got the 15. Obviously, it's not my daily driver. The Tacoma and the BMW are my daily drivers. If I want to drive one of the Subarus for fun, I pick the 15 STI every single time. It's just more usable. The 06 STI is more like, it's a nice day, I want to go cruise or drive around in one of the old Subarus for fun, but it's not the first one that I'm grabbing. Tanner, can you show us how to tune for flames? Asking for a friend. Yeah, just go like out here and just go like 150. You'll dump all the fuel. You big flames out the back, man. Got my 04 STI. Oh, or you could come in here and go to your... where's my ignition table? Go out to your base ignition table and just go like 30. As it comes around, because your ignition's going to sweep up, and then it's going to come down and back like that. As it comes down, man, just give it this 30 right here. You'll get 30 and a lot of fuel. Man, you'll have some big flames coming out the back. I promise you that. The biggest thing on the 04 that blew my mind is how the closed loop compensation map is almost completely zeroed out. So it's either 14-7-1 or open loop. You know what's actually really cool about VA and VB WRXs, FA20 and FA24s? You can permanently lock their fuel tuning in closed loop. Like 24, it can always be in closed loop, which is phenomenal. If you could always have something in closed loop, dude, it's so nice. You can do that on Haltech and other standalones, but as a stock ECU, being able to lock it in closed loop 24/7, that's just très magnifique right there, man. Beautiful. Hey Tanner, any info on Big Bertha? Big Bertha is still sitting in timeout until the RS is done. So we're working. My buddy's coming over to the shop tomorrow to help me body work in our new inner fender liners on the 2.5 RS. I bought a set of trailer fenders, which we're going to be using as like the inner fender liner structure. So we have to get that done. Then we have to do the outer one. So the Big Bertha will come back, and Big Bertha will have her time after the RS is done, because I don't want two big projects going at once. It's a headache, man. I already have to deal with maintenance on the 15, maintenance on the 06, maintenance on the BMW, maintenance on the Tacoma, the Big Bertha. I still have to finish the RS. It's quite literally too much to do all at once. Got any recommendation for Subaru shops near Portland, Oregon? Carson, just bring it up to us, man. Just make like the 2-hour drive up north. Come to us. Bring it to us. Come hang out with us. But if you're looking for a shop in Portland, couldn't recommend Surgeline enough. Fantastic shop. English Racing, PRE, both phenomenal shops down there as well. Pick your poison, man. They're all good. They're all good. Dude, my two-step is insane, bro. I don't doubt that. You need another employee. I just need to get rid of a couple of our cars. Like, at the end of the day, that's what we have 7 cars. We don't need 7 cars. We don't drive 7 cars. Dude, there's just no need for it. PRE Racing in Oregon. Eric will tune for tacos. Yeah, I mean, Eric. What? Manu, what you mean, oof, Surgeline? I love the guys down at Surgeline, man. Chris, the tuner down there. I don't know if he's still the tuner down there, but he was a homie. He always did me right. Got any recommend? Oh, no, that was the one we just did. I improved the fuel mileage a ton by getting it to stay in closed loop way more. It'll actually run like 13.1 or 12.1, climbing small hills instead of jumping straight to 11.5.1. Dude, I've seen some go down to like 10.6. It's insane. Nah. What do you mean, nah? Come on, get hard pass. Well, give us a reason, Mr. Manu. If you're gonna toss it out there, say why. Damn it! Why are you streaming your tuning at the same time at HPA? I mean, this is not tuning. This is just Haltech. This is just base map stuff for the RS to get the RS to run an idle a little bit better. The biggest issue that I have with the RS right now, if you guys saw, was just cam control. It just drops cam all the time. My tuner is Harvey at Boost Creek down here in Colorado. Ooh, I've heard good things about Harvey. 05 STI tuned on E85 and 93. Can only get 92 octane where I live, and car runs like absolute shit on 92. Where is there that much of a difference between 92 and 93? Realistically, your car shouldn't run bad on 92. To be completely honest, your car should just make less power on 92. If your car runs bad on pump gas, it's going to be, quite honestly, your tune. I mean, there's no reason that your car should be running bad on 92 octane. It's just you have, obviously 92 is less than 93 for octane rating, so you're gonna have less. You're gonna have more of a chance to have knock events. But for the overall drivability of the car on 92 octane, your car should not drive bad just because it's on 92 octane. Your car should just make less power because it's on 92 octane. Owner did give employees a raise in 10 plus years. Okay, well, I don't know the whole back end stuff of it. I'm just saying, Surgeline's never done me dirty. Even before like the YouTube stuff and before anything like that, Surgeline's never done me dirty. My tuner is my roommate. Hey, dude, you can go bug your tuner anytime you want for data logs then. I would love to bring it up to you guys when it's time to do some real work, mostly looking for local shops to diagnose what's wrong with it. Yeah, I mean, any of the shops that I mentioned before, man. That happened to everyone, including the head tech that was there for 15 plus years. Like I said, I don't know the back end of it, of their business stuff. I just know from a consumer standpoint, I've always had good experiences with them. I have 15 WRX parts that I need to sell. I'll give you $5. 5 whole doll hairs. Hey, anyone want to trade their VB for an 06 STI? I'll trade a 06 STI for a clean VB if anyone wants to trade. Throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. I have the T. I'll fill you in. All right, man. I get a code for the VVTi solenoid clogged a week ago or so. Hasn't come back. Should I be concerned? I mean, you can easily pull out the solenoid, spray it out with some brake clean, man. Compressed air, or just buy a new one. They're like $120. Yeah, I just give him my keys and tell him to fix it. Yo, that's not bad. Manu, you want the 06? Yo, give me your BMW. I'm kidding. I don't want your BMW. You know how to get a hold of me. If you genuinely want the 06, you know how to get a hold of me. Thanks for answering all the questions. Love the videos. Hey, anytime, Carson. Hey, Tanner, any realistic wheel horsepower torque increase from a basic tune intercooler charge pipe turbo inlet bypass valve Cobb redline intake FA20 91 octane wish I had 93 plus near me? I don't, off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. I am doing some FA20 tuning in the next couple of weeks. So I can definitely share. That car is going from stock to a couple bolt-ons, and then we're doing some power tuning on it in the next month or so. So I can definitely do a little tuning series on that if you guys want. I was leaning towards replacing both of them. I mean, if you don't have to, you can replace both of them if you want. They're cheap enough, like $120 each. What can I do with this old short block? Had it on eBay for like 6 months now. I'm pretty sure the piston rings are shot, but maybe someone can use the case house crankshaft. Hey, Casey, if you're local, I buy EJ25 cores for $200. If you are local and you just want to get rid of it, I'll give you $200 for it. Assuming that it's still 99.50 for the bore size. I've trusted people in the past with not bringing calipers with me, and I've gotten swindled into buying some 100mm ones that are just scrap. Hey, let's get the likes up for this guy. I appreciate it, Aspirin. Appreciate it. We chilling, man. We chilling. We partying. We hanging out. We living the life. We doing the things. I'm gonna close up all these because there's way too many of them. I want to add. I've been debating adding like a can keypad. Should we just turn the anti-lag all the way up? Should we just turn anti-lag all the way up, you guys? Straight to the moon. Rotational idle launch control. What do I have wiring set for rotational idle? DPO1. Push on, push off. This is actually really cool because you can set these to be conditional. So I think it's in this one. Condition enable. So yeah, you can do it all this. It's cool. They got cool stuff. They got cool stuff in here, man. Oh hey Tanner. Oh hey, Mr. Harrod's Garage. How you doing? How you doing, sir? There's a lot of fun stuff you can do. Vehicle functions. You can have Honda AP1 S2000 coolant gauge, tacho, shift lights, oil pressure, battery lights, traction control, aircon. One thing that I actually really want to add to the RS at some point is like a really nice ABS system in that car. I think it'd be really cool to have like modern ABS in that car because you can tune ABS also. It'd be really cool. It'd be sweet. You really are turning into a jack of all trades. Soon you'll have so many options to service and sell. Dude, my thing is I can be cheap. I can be a cheap mofo because if I can learn to do something that I'm paying somebody thousands of dollars to do, why would I not do that? Plus, being able to do everything in-house makes things so much easier. I don't have to ship the car anywhere. I don't have to pay someone else to do it. If something's wrong, I can fix it myself, or I'm not blaming somebody else. So it's like, when you get to the point of being able to encompass doing everything from engine building, fabrication, wiring, tuning, body work, all this stuff, it opens the door so much more for you in the aspect, like if you do what we do, where you just build cars all the freaking time, it opens so many opportunities and so many doors to be able to do quite literally anything you want. Like, you guys are going to see it when Blue comes back into the shop and we're doing this rear engine EG33. This is going to be like an accumulation of every skill that I've ever learned, because we are building a chassis harness, we're building an engine harness, we have the engine in the back of the car. I will be fabricating the air-to-water intercooler setup. We're going to be doing a V-mount in the front of the car, and everything's going to be done in the shop. Like, we are going to be doing it all. And it's just like, after going through the first round of like fabrication stuff with the EG33, and you pay a fabricator $15,000 or $20,000 or whatever the cost is, it's like that $15,000 you could have done so much more with and put it into the car in parts, accessories, whatever it may be. So it's like, it's an investment in the tools to be able to do it all yourself. Like that, at the end of the day, that's what it is. You would trade 06 for a VB, but you got rid of your VB, not liking the plastics, tuning, etc. So the whole reason that I'd be open to trading the 06 for a VB is FA24 practice tuning stuff. I personally, getting into the tuning stuff now, we have our EJs to be able to practice on, but I don't have an FA-based car. And personally, if I'm going to be getting into FA-based tuning, I would much rather do it on a VB than I would a VA. Now, granted, we do have Matt's 2024 WXTR at the shop. I don't feel confident in tuning FA engines yet that I would just use his car as a test mule. I would feel very wrong and very bad if I damaged Matt's engine trying to learn FA tuning on that thing. So I would much rather do it on a car that's our own. So if I blow up an FA engine, it's on me, and it's my fault. It's my car, so I don't have to stress about it. You know what I mean? That would be the reason for it. The thing about tuning your own cars is you can get extremely granular with how the car drives. Dude, it is. Like, every single time I drive the 15 STI, I'm doing data logs. Every single time I'm driving the car to, like, nitpick all of these small areas. Cold start, hot start, post start, fuel overrun, transient throttle, MAF scaling. There's so much. And in these, like, major things, like on a MAF based car on 08 plus STIs, you have compensation tables on the back end of your MAF curve. So your MAF curve is going to dictate what your fueling is. So that's why you can't necessarily just put an intake on your car and send it. So like this is a speed density table, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to show. But on a MAF curve or a MAF scale, you've got your MAF voltage and how much air it's reading in grams per revolution. And that's going to dictate your fueling. So if you take off your stock intake and you put an aftermarket intake on there, if the MAF diameter is different, your fueling's going to be off. So being able to do all of these small like changes and all this stuff to your own car, you can get so nitpicky with it that you learn things that you never would have thought. Hey Casey, ask around, Skyline Motors, ZF Designs, Boost Creek, tuners. I always spend the money on tools, parts, and fix myself because I have the ability to. Shop rates are crazy, and part price markups are too. The more you know, 100%. And like we obviously run a shop. I am such a pro DIY person. I have videos on how to DIY pretty much anything on these cars at this point. I am all for it. If somebody emails me originally wanting me to build their car or something like that, I send them a quote, they see the price, and it's more than they want to spend. If they have questions, I will 100% help them. I've helped people in the past who want to build their own cars because they don't want to spend the money with us or another shop because it is a lot of money at the end of the day. So I'm all for it. I'm all for the DIY stuff. I'm late. What ECU are we tuning on? This is the Elite 25, or this is NSP. It's Haltech for the 2.5 RS. It's just going through. I was just going through making a couple basic fuel changes, but I thought it'd be kind of fun just to kind of bring it up and be able to use it as a reference as we just kind of talk about stuff. Shops make sense for very specific jobs out there. 100%. Like we do a lot of engine R&Rs. We do a lot of builds for people. We build short blocks for people and everything like that. But like I said, I'm always all for people DIYing it. If you want to build your own short block, use one of our reference videos. Or we have that EJ. We have so as a part-time shop owner, I would call myself a part-time shop. Actually, I guess I'm a full-time shop owner at this point because I have Matt working for us doing all the rebuilds at this point. I'm writing a DIY book for a company called CarTech, showing you guys how to. It's literally a step-by-step book with photos, diagrams, torque specs, everything, so you can rebuild your EJs at home. Like I have absolutely no issue with people going through and doing all this stuff themselves. I'm 100% for it. Any recommendations for turbos that would go in stock location? FA20, 350 to 400. FP Blue would be my top recommendation for that. I picked up a 19 STI 50k miles bone stock. What maintenance should I do before starting mods, planning 350-ish? Honestly, based off mileage, you're coming up on a 60k service. That's going to be like oil, cabin filter, intake filter, transmission flush, diff flush, all that stuff. Honestly, just open up the maintenance manual or open up the owner's manual and your glove box. Go to the recommended service for 60,000 miles. Just do that in advance. Like that's what I would suggest doing. Spark plugs are going to be another one. I just do what the book says. I still want to have a signed copy of that book. You'll get it. We'll do that. So I'll have a stack of copies here, and I'll have them on our website. So if you guys do want to buy one, you guys can get that. It'll be pretty comprehensive. It is quite literally a step by step. It is amazing how much support is behind these vehicles, nearly unparalleled. Dude, with Subarus, man, it's insane. There's so many resources out there on these things. I don't have any E85 near me. Neither do I. I just get it by the barrel. Like, I just buy E85 by the barrels. That would be legendary. Got any idea when it'll be done? So I have to have my portion of authoring the book done by the end of the year. I think they're going to start printing it mid 2026. Sometime in 2026, it's going to be printed and offered for sale. Obviously, it's got to go through editing, structuring, printing, and everything else like that. So that should be out sometime in 2026. Extension of the last question, / answer. What is your opinion on the DOS compared to the FPs? So far, I've been super happy with that DOS Performance Turbo. It spools up nice. It sounds really nice. From what I've seen, they make some really good power. I mean, our 06 STI is making 315 wheel on wastegate right now on pump gas, which is like 14 PSI, which is really not bad. That is not bad for a wastegate. And that's very conservative on timing too. That's not getting aggressive at all. Like there is no feedback knock or fine knock learn on the 06 STI. So I've been going through and kind of tweaking the ignition tables a little bit as I see. If I see like a degree or two of knock here or there, I can either adjust fueling or I can pull some knockout. Personally, pull ignition out. Personally, I would rather take out like a degree or two of ignition timing and keep the engine happy versus just making it super rich in certain areas of the map just to combat fine knock learn or feedback knock. But so far, I've been super happy with that DOS Turbo. Like I said, on Monday, we are going back to the dyno with the 06. We're actually going to be tuning the car boost. So on pump gas, we'll probably keep that car around 20, 21 PSI. And then on E85, we'll probably turn it up to probably around 25. It's still an RA bottom end with Manly pistons. So I don't want to get too crazy aggressive with it. Because I'd like that car still to be reliable. I mean, even though it is for sale and we are getting rid of it, I don't want to tune it so aggressive that it blows up on somebody. Hey man, me again with the out front EJ. Right now the car has a Cobb 20G, Cobb ID 1050s, no name top mount, Cobb downpipe, basically all the supporting stuff. With that, is 400 wheel horsepower feasible? On pump gas, no. You're gonna need a fuel pump, fuel pressure regulator. I mean, it's just basic bolt-ons. The Cobb 20G on pump gas, it's not gonna hit 400. On E85, you can definitely do it, but pump gas is just not gonna happen. How much did I pay for my 2.5 RS? I bought the chassis for $3,000. I feel like I overpaid for it, but there's not a lot of coupes out there. I mean, the frame was straight, which is really what mattered, and with how far we've gone with it at this point, I guess it really doesn't matter too much. How, like, even though it was sideswiped or something, we cut off the entire fender that was sideswiped, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. But $3,000 is what I paid for the RS. How much does Johnny Trans charge to rebuild a 6 manual transmission? That is a question for Mr. Johnny Trans. I want to say it's like $1,500. 15 maybe. I don't know. I would ask Johnny. I don't know. Should I target boost numbers? Or more timing on exclusively 90 octane? I mean, to be honest, it's going to be a balance. So, I mean, it's going to be a balance of both. Obviously, if you start going too high in boost, cylinder pressure is cylinder pressure. You cannot change that. If you go too far in cylinder pressure, obviously you can have knock events. You can have pre-ignition, especially with DI cars, you can have pre-ignition. But what I personally prefer is I would rather keep boost a little more conservative than increasing my cylinder pressure, especially on a stock engine car. Oh, thank you. Especially on a stock motor car with stock pistons, stock rings. I personally would rather pull out a degree or two of ignition timing in certain spots and then add it back in where I see that it needs it. So like if you're looking at a dyno graph and you see your line come up and then you see like a dip and then you see it come back up again, you can fix timing. You'll start getting pretty aggressive with stuff, and it's going to be I'll give you $6,000 double your money for the RS. You crazy, man. I think Melanie, earmuffs. Okay, don't earmuffs. So realistically, I think we're about $100,000 deep into the RS. 6,000 is nowhere near. No, absolutely not. Muted? Did it mute? Oh, okay. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. The audio's back. The audio's back. Came back. Do not touch this. I don't know why. I needed like a different mic or something, dude. It's like if you touch this thing wrong, it just stops working altogether. It's so odd. I don't know why it does that. On the bright side, I do got this. I think it was the audio sound level adjustment from when you hit the mic. Now you're muted. Now it's back.
Dude, this stuff's so good. Mmm. It's back. Don't touch it. I'm not going to touch it. It's going to sit right here. Okay? It'll chill right there. I'm not going to touch it. I promise. Where was I? So this is what being deaf is like. It's terrifying. Dude, it's the mic. I don't know why. You're just not used to handling big mics correctly. I'm not, man. I'm used to the little ones. Little ones. But yeah, it's fun tuning stuff, man. Super fun. I've been enjoying the tuning a lot more than I thought I would. Because it's a lot. You can do a lot. There's a lot of like intricacies in it. There's a lot of things that you figure out. I have no experience with Link ECU. I would like to get some experience with Link ECU. We'll probably do that in the near future, but right now I don't have any. Thank you. Good to know. Would the FP Blue be a good choice for daily driving? 400 wheel. Here's the thing. Trying to fit 400 wheel on pump gas on like an FP Blue or something like that. I mean, when you try to make 400 on pump, you typically need to have a larger turbo. A larger turbo can move more air at a lower PSI, decreasing your cylinder pressure. So by decreasing the cylinder pressure, it's going to be more reliable. When you, especially on pump, dude, pump gas loves to knock. It loves to knock. Realistically, pump gas, FP Blue, daily driver, you will probably be 350 to 360 with supporting mods. Maybe. It's just pump gas and like the littler turbos, they don't like power. They don't like making power reliably. Headset mics never fail. I have one. I just don't want to use it. You ever take a tuning class? Yeah, so all the HPA stuff. The High Performance Academy. If any of you guys want to learn like the basics of tuning, yes, I do work with HPA, okay? I do work with them, but I genuinely suggest their classes. There are some things in there that could be a little bit better in the practical tuning sessions. But overall, I do think that those classes are worth it. If you do want, I mean, we have a discount code. I want to say it's SMEDIA, and it'll take 50. I want to say it's like 55% off classes over there. But I do genuinely suggest those HPA classes. If you are like HPA is live right now. HPA is where I learned to make engine harnesses, and you watch these classes, you apply the knowledge to what you're doing, and you actually learn it. It's actually worth it. Did you see Cobb just made the E85 kit for the 2014 WRX? I'm debating on getting from my dude. Send it. LOL, I have a Cobb 20G. I'm at about 360 wheel wall, the supporting mods, and I do be spark knocking. Dude, I'm telling you, pump gas and littler turbos like 20Gs, 18Gs, 16Gs, they don't like to make like bigger power numbers. What would be the go-to for pump 400 wheel? Dude, it's just like on an EJ on pump, FP black. FP green, FP black. I mean, we did 450 on pump on the FP black on the 05 STI. FP black is honestly my favorite stock location turbo. It responds well. It makes great power. Then again, the DOS, I haven't tuned the DOS performance turbo yet, so I don't know where that one's going to land. But so far from my personal experiences, the FP black is my favorite stock location turbo for so far. The wastegate doesn't either. It's screaming on internal gate. That's true. What are your thoughts on a closed deck IEG 750? How much wheel horsepower can it hold? Well, I mean, it's in the name, man. 750 bhp, subtract 20% drivetrain loss, 10% is 75 horsepower, multiply that by 2 for 20%. You're probably looking at 600 wheel is what it would be roughly rated for. I think BCP X500R can do 400 on pump. I have no experience with the BCP turbos. I couldn't tell you. My FP Green put down 400, but it was knocky as a MFer on pump. And on E2, I got that forged internal noise. Dude, the 06 STI, you should hear the amount of piston shatter in that car. Or piston slap. Drop in 9950 pistons. You start that thing cold, it sounds like a box of rocks. Once it's warmed up, it calms down a little bit. But obviously, with it being a 9950 piston, we never machined the block because it's already 9950. So drop-in piston problems. They're loud. All right, I'll add those into the budget. Thanks for letting me pick your brain. Anytime, Mr. Carson. Anytime, senor. Oh, this will be fun. I had the RS running earlier. I have to figure out the oil pressure issue in the RS. It has way too much oil pressure. The thing is 150 psi of oil pressure on cold start. It's a lot. It's all the oil pressure all the time. I have a ton of valve train noise, and I'm guessing that cam sync was creating inconsistent fueling, so some of that knock was probably real. It was 400 plus on Type RA block, I would like to learn to tune it myself, and I think the safety features this link has. Dude, standalones have so many nice safety features that you can incorporate in. You can, like on Haltech, where's engine protection? I think I have it turned off right now, to be honest. Don't judge me. Engine protection right here. So, I mean, you can set, at least on a Haltech, you can set severity levels for whatever you want. You can assign them. You can assign the check engine light, and you can assign the severity level with this stuff. So having these, I would really like to enable this, but I can't because my trigger system is set to a conditional sync because of the cam signal issues right now. So our bigger cams like BC272s usually louder with braking process. Not typically. You're typically not going to hear the cam too much. You might hear the valve train a little bit more, but it's not like you're specifically going to hear a camshaft in there. How much experience do you have with the Cobb redline intakes? I hate them. I hate the Cobb redline intakes. From an installation standpoint, I don't like them. Just use an SF, man. They get in the way of everything. They're always in the way. Do you know if it's harmful to run a DC-CD6 manual transmission in manual mode forever, basically unlocked all the time? I mean, I don't foresee it damaging anything, but why would you want to? Just leave it in auto. Just keep it in auto. It'll take care of itself. If you want to go crazy with it, M-Tron has per cylinder fueling compensation. I've seen that. I haven't played with the M-Tron stuff too much yet. I really like my Haltech stuff. This is such a user-friendly software. From a user standpoint, I love this. It's easy to find everything I need. It's easy to get to the tables. It's easy to I love it. I love this. I love it. This kicked my ass though. Cranking on here, dude. Woo! That one kicked my ass when I was trying to figure that out before I really understood tuning. I have an 18WX at about 90k miles. What would you recommend you do for regular maintenance? If you haven't already, walnut blast the valves or go to Subaru and get the slow induction service done. The amount of FA engines and VB and VAWX owners that I see that do not, I repeat, that do not walnut blast their valves and then have issues because of the amount of carbon buildup that gets under the valve and gets into the valve seat and everything else is insane. It's actual insanity, man. It blows my mind. I get better mileage with 04 DCCD manual full open. I mean, you can. I just leave it in auto. I just leave them all in auto. Are 5858 Boost Lab turbos any good? I couldn't tell you, unfortunately. I've never used one, so I mean, I couldn't tell you. Especially when you pair it with the digital dash, having everything. Dude, it's so nice. It's so nice having a digital dash. The thing with like a lot of the cars is they have so many gauge. You need so many gauges everywhere in stock ECUs for like your AFR, your oil pressure, all this other stuff. On my digital dash, on the RS, it has everything. It's got it all right there in front of me. I love it. Before the mic muted, what do you think the FP red, blue, and black with the 84mm fab cover? Fab cover? What do you mean the fab cover? I don't know what that means. Yeah, true, installation is shitty. Dude, it's dumb. It's so dumb. Upgrade to the UC10. I don't like the UC10. I don't want the UC10. I actually really like the IC7 over the UC10. I don't need a display that, quite frankly, I don't think that display would fit in the RS also. The IC7, in my opinion, is like perfect size. It's perfect size, man. I just buy D25 heads and have the valves were walnut blasted, IDK. So on EJ cars, you don't need to walnut blast valves. Because you have port injection, the injector cleans the backside of the valves when the injector sprays fuel, so it, for the most part, gets most of the carbon off. Direct injection cars, because they don't have fuel washing over the backside of the valve, they build up a lot of carbon on the backside, which can then get into the valve seat and everything. You should get rid of the BMW and get the new Doge. I will not get rid. I like the BMW. Okay, I like it a lot. I love the BMW. I will go as far as saying I love the M3. Okay, I'm not getting rid of the M3. I don't understand why so many people hate BMWs. Okay, I actually I do. I get it. I used to be on that same train, but I love it. I love it. I thought they all looked the same. I thought they were just, you know, crackle tune, burble tune, this, that. Dude, I love it. I personally love the M3. It's a great daily driver, and it makes power stupid easy. Why are you crying, Mochi? You're not getting any of my pizza. No, you can't have any. She's looking up here like, can I have a piece? I can see you. Come here. You want the uppies?
So many green beans.
You want the uppies? You can have the uppies. Dude, she's looking up here like, I want that pizza. You're not getting the pizza. Little Borg. Little crazy dog. You ain't getting my pizza. You already had dinner too, Mo. I'm thinking about writing my own custom protocol so I can make it a custom dash. That'd actually be pretty sweet. I got a text from one of my best friends. Favorite tires all season? Melanie, what is our favorite all season tire?
Continental DWSs.
Continental DWSs. We put them on everything, man. The new Doge 6-pack is basically an American BMW i6 ZF8 6-speed. I like my M3, though. I like the M3. It's actually the first German car that hasn't abused me right off the bat, man. Who here has been to Boost Control Performance in Michigan? I have not. DW60 Plus. Dude, solid tire. I love them. Carson, I saw him on Smeedia's channel. He fixed the broken reverse gear and stuff. Johnny? You talking about Johnny? Johnny did that. Johnny's awesome. Send 12 volts to the DCCD and see how aggressive it looks. Y'all be wild, man. Y'all be freaking wild. But, Mr. Mark. Shh, Blake. I'm going to jump off, you guys. I'm going to eat some dinner. I got some editing to do on a client hatchback that we're putting together. I'm going to try to get a video out tomorrow night. No promises. If not tomorrow night, it'll be probably Friday night on the RS. I'm doing the wide body and everything else like that. So with that, I appreciate everyone swinging through the live stream. Now that we're back to somewhat normalness in life now, I'm going to try to do these at least a couple times per week. But if I do not do live streams, I want you guys to yell at me in the comment section of the videos to get me to do them some more. So I'll catch you guys later. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I'm going to eat this delicious pizza. You're not getting this pizza, Mo. I'm going to eat this delicious pizza, and I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies. Woo! And it's the awkward part where I have to open up the stream. I got Mochi.